Hello, everyone on the setup team. It's Pastor Gabe. I just wanted to take a quick minute to update everybody just on a few things that have come about that affect how we set up and how we tear down and everything. The first one is if you've been there the last couple of weeks, you know they've moved us from the room we've been set up in for the last couple of years and moved us into a closet just across the way. And it is a much tighter space. But this past week, Luis and some other guys really figured out how we can fit everything in there. There is a way everything will go in there. And so I'm going to cut that video in right now and let you take a look at that.
Yeah, so this baptismal cart
Mhm.
has to go against the wall so those other two pieces will fit in.
Okay. And then the kids' barriers flat and upright against that.
Upright,
Yeah.
yes. So tall.
And
tall
then
ones.
over in the corners, the other
Plate
kid
structure
stuff.
there, yes.
Yeah.
All means.
And then these roll in just like so.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you said there's a TV. Yeah, the TV is behind this door.
TV.
There's a little TV behind that door, and that should clear up the electrical panel that is right against the wall.
Electric panel is clear. That's how stuff gets. So baptism against that wall, kids dividers against that wall standing up, other kids carts on that back corner, and then our main stuff rolled in just like this. Everybody say thank you, Luis. All right, so I hope that made sense. You see how the the dividers for children's ministry needs to go up against the back wall, and then the kids stuff in the corner, and just the way we kind of have to maneuver things in. Let's be careful, one, that we don't damage anything belonging to the school. Let's make sure we take care of their walls and doors and everything else. And let's do our best to make sure we're taking care of the church's equipment as well. Sometimes that stuff can get really banged up and thrown around if we're not being mindful. But let's remember God's blessed us with some really nice things for the church. And so let's be good stewards and make sure we're taking care of all that. With setup, I know the last time we talked about the way we need to start from the middle. When we're setting up, we need to start from the middle and work out. What that means is we start with the stage. We need to make sure that the speakers are set up and the sound gets set up first so that Cole and the music team can start practicing, start rehearsing. With that, remember if we've got a couple of people who are, the big thing is get everything to the stage, the boxes, the carts, and all that stuff. And then Cole and a couple of other people, usually Jared and maybe one other two other people can be setting up the speakers and all that. If we've got three or four people working on the stage, then somebody else does need to be working on the chairs, getting that set up, and then we work out from there, right? We begin setting up the tent outside. We put the signs down by the street, those types of things. But children's ministry as well. In the past, that was much easier because usually my daughter would get there at 9 a.m. with us, and my wife would get there at 9 a.m. with us. And my wife would set up the hospitality table. My daughter would go set up children's ministry most of the time. But one thing we didn't plan on whenever we had our baby is my wife's unable to be there at 9, and Lily has to stay home and help her with the baby. And so, what we need also is someone always being aware that children's ministry, that's part of the setup team's job as well. So we have to make sure we're getting somebody over there set. So once the stage, it looks like it's going well, and we've got all the boxes in there, the speakers are up, and it looks like Cole and them are gonna be able to hook up all the cables and get sound. If we already have somebody working on the chairs, that's when I need whoever was on the stage to head over and start setting up the children's ministry. For teardown, again, it's just the reverse. We start on the outside. We go get the signs. We go get everything outside and bring it in because most of the people are putting up the chairs and doing all of that stuff. Cole and Ross and others are working on the stage. We lend a hand. And usually whoever's working in children's ministry will begin breaking down children's ministry, but we need to make sure before we leave that we get everything torn down in children's ministry. And so if you already started from the outside and you already started working in and you get inside, you see how the chairs being put up, run over to children's ministry if you are able and just make sure they don't need any extra help there. Um, last thing, in the video, I don't know if you saw it, we have a new cart system for the children's ministry. Luis got us these really great carts, one to carry all the dividers. That's been uh, a pain for 6 years, and Luis cracked the code and got us this cart, and then he got us another cart that has replaced the wagon. It's got 4 pivoting wheels. It's much easier to get in and out of that closet. Things are held on with a bungee cord. So yeah, setup team. I know you don't get a lot of credit. It's kind of a behind the scenes thing, but I want you to know this is just so important. It's such a valuable ministry. We can't make guests feel comfortable. We can't make people feel comfortable. We can't be able to have the sound we have and all of these things without it. And so, uh, from the bottom of my heart as your pastor, I want to thank you so much for being willing to serve on the setup and tear down team. It really is a huge, huge blessing. And I thank God for you very much. So I hope this made sense. I hope it helped. I hope it wasn't too long. If you have any more questions about this, feel free to contact me. And yep, I'll see you Sunday. God bless.